Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video for 6th grade science. Today we're covering 6.5c chemical changes, formation of a new substance. So today we're doing our chemical changes lab, and let me just tell you a couple of things that we're going to be working with here. We have a couple of stations that we're actually doing here in class. We wish you were here, so we're going to try to make this as lively as possible as we, conduct these experiments, and hopefully you learn something here, okay? So in the same video, you already know the 4 things we need to look for to see if a chemical change happened, okay? So from those 4 things, we're going to be experimenting with different household items and seeing if any chemical changes happened, okay? So for station 1, we're going to be combining baking soda and vinegar, okay? Station 2, we're going to be combining steel wool with bleach. For station 3, I'm going to be combining colored paper with bleach. For station 4, I'm going to be combining Alka-Seltzers with water. And for station 5, I'm going to be combining milk and vinegar. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start this off. And then all I'm looking for is I'm answering these questions. And these are the same questions for every single one of these stations. Is this a chemical change? If it is a chemical change, what evidence do I have? So we'll start off with baking soda and vinegar here. I'm going to go ahead and pour a little bit of my baking soda into this clear little cup. Have a little bit of baking soda. It doesn't really matter how much I put in here. It's going to have the same reaction. So I have baking soda in one, and I have my Lucy's distilled white vinegar. I'm going to pour some of that in another cup. So I have my vinegar here, baking soda and vinegar. Now I might make a mess, so just bear with me. I'm gonna get some paper towels. And now let's see what kind of reaction I get whenever I combine these 2 substances. I'm gonna go ahead and pour my vinegar into my baking soda. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna pour in slowly. Make sure that you, well, I know that you're not here, but smell just came out of this container here. So, and obviously you guys saw the bubbles fizz, and so that's 2 things of a sign of a chemical change. So back to my little sheet of paper. That was quick. On my sheet of paper, you guys should have this answer down. Is this a chemical change? Yes, it is. If it is a chemical change, what evidence do I have? Well, I saw it bubble and fizz, and there was a change of smell. And those 2 are signals for a chemical change, guys. So that's all it is for station 1. I know that you've seen this done before whenever you guys create volcanoes, but basically we just made it into little cups. And believe it or not, you've been doing chemical changes since the 3rd grade, guys. Okay, so that's one part. That's station 1. Move this to the side. Now station 2 is this: steel wool with bleach or vinegar. And so I'm going to go ahead and go with bleach here. Okay, so I have my steel wool. It looks like this right here. Okay, now you might have seen this before in your kitchen whenever your parents or you are doing the dishes to scrub pots or pans. This one's extra fine steel wool, and it's better at cleaning dishes than the larger wool pads that you see for the kitchen. Okay, so here I have my steel wool. I can spread it out if I want to. I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna leave it clumped. Put it back in my baggie, and I'm gonna combine it with bleach. And so my bleach is here, just your normal regular Clorox bleach. I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna go ahead and pour this into, let's do this little cup right here. I don't want to fill it up. That should be enough. And so let's see what happens. Put this inside a baggie. Hopefully this baggie doesn't have any holes. You know what? Let me get some more paper towels. Now, if you've ever done anything with vinegar, you should know that vinegar is strong, and sorry, not vinegar, bleach. Bleach is strong enough to stain your clothes, so make sure you're working with an apron here. And so here we go. I'm gonna combine this, I'm gonna pour this in slowly, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna go ahead and seal it. Let some of the air out. Let the bleach get all in the wool. And let's just give it some time. I'm gonna give it a couple more seconds, and then I'm gonna talk about what is happening in there. To give this a little bit of time to take effect, in here we have bleach and steel wool, and it is taking a while, but just from the steel wool being in there with the bleach, you can tell that the steel wool is already oxidizing, so it's rusting right now. And so all this used to be pretty much a clear color whenever we added it, is now becoming orange from the iron rusting. Okay, so this wool right now is rusting. And something else that I observed was that when I touched this, there was a slight temperature change. It actually increased temperature, like something was getting warmer. Okay, so if I leave this in a little longer, this complete piece of steel wool will rust over. Okay, so it does take a little while, but you can see that the process is already happening. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this here. I might show this to you again at the end of the video, but I'm gonna go ahead and answer my questions. Now, actually, let me take it out a little bit since I put this glove on before I take it off. And so the color should be changing. No, it's changing a little bit. It's probably gonna take a little longer, but you can already see stuff at the very bottom of my bleach here. Okay, and ooh, there's a strong smell coming out of it. So I'm gonna put this back in the bag. I'm gonna place this to the side. I'll come back to it a little bit. Let me take my glove off so I could write down some observations. So in my stations 2, steel wool and bleach, is this a chemical change? Yes, for sure. If it is a chemical change, what evidence do I have? Well, there was a temperature change as well as a color change, and there was a strong, very strong smell coming out of it. 3 signs of a chemical change. So that one for sure is a chemical change. And at the end of the video, we'll visit this again. But it's happening, guys. It's happening. It is happening. Okay, let's move on to the next one, though. So station 3 is colored paper and bleach questions. So I have my colored paper right. Ooh, let's use the blue one. I have my colored paper over here. And I'm going to use bleach to see what happens with it. Well, for this station, I'm gonna actually use a Q-tip. Now, usually people have these in their homes to clean little nooks and crannies, like in maybe the keyboard of a computer, or clean your ears with it. I'm gonna go ahead and pour some more bleach into this little cup right here. I'm gonna close my lid there, and I'm gonna use my bleach with, on this Q-tip to write down a little message on this color paper and see if anything happens. Now, you guys know what wet paper looks like, right? It just gets a little darker and then it eventually dries off. But let's see what happens whenever we mix bleach with it. Ooh, it's happening already, guys. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me do some more writing on here. Let's see what's happening. Let's give it time to dry off. Now you can kind of already tell. So my colored paper is no longer the same color. This one's a really good example right here that's going to happen. This one I wet it too much on where it says high, but you can see that it doesn't just look wet, like it actually faded out. So this one counts as a chemical change. So I'm going to go back to my little response sheet. Is this a chemical change? Yes, for sure it is. If a chemical change did occur, what evidence do I have? Well, the colored paper changed color. That's perfect, guys. And so look, we have this. The blue is faded out, but I can still see where I wrote Jane Long on it with my little happy face over here and my blotched high. That's perfect. So we had another chemical change there. Station 4 now is Alka-Seltzer tablet with water. So let's go ahead and do this. I have my little glass of water here. Not glass, little cup of water. And I have my little Alka-Seltzer tablets here. I'm going to go ahead and just use one. And now let's look at this reaction here. Yeah, I'm just going to throw it all in there. Let's see what happens. It's a super fast reaction, guys. And hopefully you already see what's happening here. So the capsule made its way all the way to the top, and now it seems like it's completely gone. And so I do want to check it for one thing. If those chunks are solid, we actually have another sign of a chemical change. Let me just see if I could pull it out. Oh, it is solid. That's a good sign, guys. So I'm going to go to my responses here. Is this a chemical change? Yes. So what evidence do I have? The water bubbled and fizzed, and we also had a precipitate. Now if you remember that from our vocab word, precipitate means a solid, something solid was formed in the substance, and we had little specks of solid in there. So we had a precipitate, we had bubbled and fizz. It didn't change any colors, but this is enough, guys. That is enough for a chemical change. Okay, so now station 5, milk and vinegar. I'm going to move this over to the side, and I'm going to pour my little cup of milk, which I got from the school cafeteria. I'm going to go ahead and pour maybe half of my milk in there. Actually, you know what? Maybe this clear cup would be better. So we just have normal, plain old milk. It's actually 1% low fat, which hopefully this experiment still works if it's not whole milk, but that's okay. Let's see if we observe something here. And if we don't observe anything, well, now we know that it had to be whole milk and not 1% milk. Okay, so let's see what happens. We're scientists. We're experimenting. So now I'm going to pour my vinegar, and I'm going to want equal parts milk, equal parts vinegar, and that should be enough. Okay, so here we go. Ooh, there's a little something in there. So as of now, let me clean the spoon because I'm going to reuse it. As of now, this is just normal milk. Okay, regular normal milk. I'm going to pour my vinegar in there. And already I can see something happening in there. The milk does not like the vinegar at all. I'm going to swirl it around a little bit. It actually kind of looks jelly-ish now. But give it time to mix. I'm going to take my spoon again, mix it up a little bit more. Ooh, you guys. Check that out. And hopefully you know if you find something solid in there, you just formed something. Okay? So that's already, guys. Let's go to my responses here. Is this a chemical change? Yes, of course it is. if this is a if a chemical change did occur, what evidence do I have? The evidence I have from this that just happened was a precipitate formed inside the milk. And I'm going to go ahead and describe it a little bit. It looks like jelly. Let's see. Yeah, let's take another good look at this. Boom, look at this precipitate right there. Really nasty. Now, as of now, like from where I'm at, and just by wafting it, there is no smell coming out of this. So I'm not going to mention the smell because I really don't catch anything. Okay, now I'm going to move this to the side, and I told you at the end of the video I was going to go back and show you the oxidized the oxidized steel wool. Ooh, guys, guess what? The temperature is increasing in here, and if you notice, uh-oh. Is this still recording? Nice. If you notice, wait, is this still recording? Yeah, it is. Okay. Sorry, guys. Camera difficulties. But if you notice, our the pigment of our liquid is getting a little darker. So the oxidation is happening, and it's kind of warm. Like, it's warmer than I've felt it at all. So eventually, this steel wool will be completely orange, all rusted over, and no longer useful. Okay? So that's just the way it would look. But that's it, guys. That was our 6.5C Chemical Changes Lab. Make sure you answer the questions in Schoology, and we'll see you guys later.